This is Yazdi, and in this short video I'm going to show you how to use the Evernote app for iPhone or Android to manage your contacts. So Evernote's a free app, and if you don't already have it, go to your app store and just do a search for Evernote. It comes up pretty quickly. It's a pretty popular app. And let's see, so there we go. It looks like that. It's got the elephant, it's green. Now, I already have the Evernote app, so I don't need to download it, but if you don't, you would download it right here. And the first thing you would do when you open it up is to create an online account. Okay, so they're basically, you see I have my email address up there. And the reason that it's synced to your email, which is one thing I love about Evernote, is that you will never lose your notes because it's all hosted on their server online. And this was great for me, you know, true story here. When I was using my Android and I just used the basic notepad that came with it, I had to reset my phone. It got some kind of glitch in it, and I lost that note, which had some really valuable contacts in it. So I was really bummed out, and that's why I looked at Evernote as an alternative, because it syncs online. And even if I lose this phone, I have my notes still, which is really valuable. So they usually have like a starter note to help you get started, but I'm just going to close that, and let's click on that plus sign. Did you see the plus sign right here in the upper right hand corner? That's how you start a new note. And I'm going to talk about 3 notes specifically that I train people to use. First note is contacts. So, excuse me, contacts. And so you just tap there and you can start populating it. So I'm going to put some of my contacts, let's say Bob, let's say Sam, and you know, Mary, and then I have my neighbor who has a beard, for example. You know, it's okay if you don't know the person's name, but these are just notes to help you jog your memory so you know who to call. Now, what happens is we're going to open up another note as well. And this is, I'm going to call this one invited. So people that I've invited. And then let's open up another note. Presented. Okay, so here's how this works. Let's say that and you know what I love the most is I use this probably the most when I meet new people. So just today I met a lady at a coffee shop, and we started a conversation. I got her contact information, and she told me a little bit about herself, and I, you know, made a quick approach, and she gave me her phone number. Her name was Morgan. So what I'm going to write is Morgan, we met at Pete's Coffee, she's from Florida, and her mom lives here, or whatever it is that, you know, I might not remember. And, you know, when you meet a lot of people, you obviously can't remember all the details about all of them. And so this really helps you bring back that conversation. So when I call her, I can bring up the conversation we had. So what happens is, let's say that I call Morgan, and today's Tuesday. Let's say I set up an appointment to meet with her on Thursday, either for coffee or for her to see one of my webcasts. And so what happens is, when I get off the phone, immediately what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this information here. Sometimes it's pretty annoying. I'm going to take this information, I'm going to take it off the contacts note and put it on my invited notes. There we go, tap it once and then put it there. So now she's on my invited note. Okay, so when I'm following up and I'm checking out my different lists right here, I know where Morgan is, and you know, I remember I got to still present to her. So what happens is, when I do meet with her, either for coffee or she sees one of my webcasts, well then, let's say that she's not quite ready yet to join my business. Let's say that on a scale of 1 through 10, she's at about a 7, needs some information, wants me to do a little bit of a follow-up, give her a couple days. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to take her name, and let's cut that and go under presented. So now she's someone that I've actually presented to. So when I'm doing my follow-up calls and I know who I need to call, I know that she's seen a presentation, but she hasn't yet joined my business. Now when she does join my business, that's when I can delete her from there, and I can create a new note and call that business builders. So these are the people that I want to work with, and I can put notes here on how much training I've done with them, what their goals are, and how I can help and mentor them. So as you can see, Evernote's just a really simple tool, but what I love about it is it's always on you when your phone is, and it's just so versatile, and it helps you kind of just jog your memory on a lot of things that you might forget. One thing that I would highly recommend is as soon as you meet someone new, and like I mentioned, that's probably the main reason I use Evernote is when I meet new people to put notes down and remember who they are. And especially if you're at a networking event and you meet like 15 people, you might not remember all of them. So Evernote really helps you impress people when you put down notes that you can bring up later and make a personable conversation with them. But so when you do meet the person, what I usually do is I get their phone number. So I'll just put their information in my phone and put the contact. I'll add a new contact. I'll send them a text message and say, hey, this is Hamed. It was nice meeting you. And, I'll remind them a little bit about our conversation. And then when I, kind of leave that conversation, right then and there, I'll pull out my phone and go to contacts and add their name right there. Okay, so it's fresh on my mind, and I know I don't forget to do that, okay, because otherwise they're just going to get lost in all the other people that I have in my phone and my contacts. So that's Evernote, guys. It's a very useful tool.